Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear listeners, from wherever you have tuned into this news all over the world. Welcome to Verdict TV. The news headline: Heavy pressure on Tinubu as Atiku drags him after EU reports indicated his election was rigged. See what he said. You're welcome to this news once again, and thank you for tuning in to this channel. Now to the news details. Please carefully listen to the end. Atiku Abubakar, the People's Democratic Party's PDP nominee for president in 2023, has challenged President Bola Tinubu and the All Progressives Congress to admit that the election was rigged. This is stated in a statement that was written and signed by Frank Shaub, Atiku's Special Assistant for Public Communication. Atiku commended the European Union Election Monitoring Group for concluding in its report that the most recent election was in fact riddled with anomalies and fell short of the required level of legitimacy. Bola Tinubu and his spokesperson, Dele Alake, were also criticized by Atiku for attempting to undermine the EU study. The Independent National Electoral Commission was unable to explain why, nearly 5 months after the election, it has refused to put the complete results on its results viewing portal, Hêãvy. According to the statement, even the dead recognized that the most recent election lacked credibility. Atiku, who criticized Alake's assertion that the EU was a meddling interpolar responsible for undermining the election, argued that it was hypocritical of the Nigerian government to accept millions of dollars in election funding from the EU before later asserting that the EU has no right to comment on the election. Even primary school students who did not cast a ballot are aware of how horribly INEC failed and how Tinubu corrupted the previous election, he claimed. The presidential election took place on February 25, 2023, but as of July 2, 2023, the results have not yet been properly uploaded. Even though it was the most expensive election in West Africa's history, this is happening. How can an election be characterized as credible by any sensible person when the all results have not been fully uploaded after almost 5 months? There is honor among thieves too. They ought to acknowledge that they rigged. We would not execute them. Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party has actually challenged President Bola Tinubu and the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. The European Union observers came with their reports and tendered it to the INEC, whereby INEC refuted to accept the claims by the EU, because the EU are saying that the election was not free and fair, that it was rigged, and INEC refuted. But the tribunal accepted the claims by the EU. So that is what Atiku Abubakar is saying, that the APC and the INEC should claim, they should just accept the fact that the election was rigged. And if they accept it, they will be forgiven. They will not execute them. Nothing will happen. But if they keep saying that it was not rigged, then they need to see the petition to the end. despite the fact that the election was the most expensive election. The INEC chairman was telling us that he spent millions on it, yet we did not see the end result. We did not see the what the money was used for. So what Atiku Abubakar is actually emphasizing on is that after 5 months, election was done in February. We are in July. After 5 months, INEC still deem it fit not to upload the remaining results on the IREF portal. Even when they said that 1% was uploaded, what about the remaining percentage? The remaining 69%? Where has it gone? If truly they have not rigged the election, they'll be very buoyant to upload the remaining results on the portal so that Nigerians can have access to it. So they should come out to acknowledge that it was rigged. It was the most insensible, the most corrupted election to be ever conducted. It was so horrible. Sure, this is an honor. There is always an honor among thieves too. They ought to acknowledge. So, what Atiku Abubakar is saying that they should come out to talk. But if not, the election was truly rigged by what the EU has said, because if you don't want the EU to have any business with the election, why do you collect billions of dollars for them to come and observe the election? It doesn't make sense. Now that they brought the report, you're not saying that they do not have the right to do it. They do not have the right to comment on the election. We have come to the end of the news, dear listeners. What's your perspective to this news? Please share your view in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button and the bell for more updates. Thank you.